Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here. Hope you're well. It's 10 to 10 here in the UK, so making another late video. I know I made quite a few videos today, but I thought just for fun, sticking to the theme of Asia. Also, I thought I'd just ask this question to any viewers about if you can list any Eurasian nations. For those who don't know, Eurasian nations are nations which, as I would put it, straddle two continents. In other words, come under two continents, so they're not defined under one continent. So they're a part of transcontinental countries. So for instance, there are like, I think Egypt is the only one between Asia and Africa, so that's an Afro-Asian country. I think it's the only Afro-Asian nation. But Eurasian nations, as far as I'm aware, I have only heard of. Turkey is a Eurasian nation. I'm not sure about other nations such as Armenia and Greece, which is next to Turkey. I think is classed as just in being in Europe. So I wonder if any people, I think some people dispute whether it's actually in Asia or Asia Minor or whatever. And Russia often comes under Europe. I wonder if I think Russia comes under Eurasia. So I know I don't know the full facts of which countries or nations, whatever you want to call them, come under Eurasian or whatever. So I thought I'd just ask whether people, just for a little bit of fun, I thought I'd ask whether people class Russia as being Eurasian. Pretty sure everyone classes Turkey as being Eurasian. I think like Istanbul is part in Europe and part in Asia. It's one of the few countries, nations, or whatever, which is like part of the cities in one continent and the other ones in another continent. So I think that's quite an interesting concept, and I wonder how nations can be in between two continents. That's quite an interesting concept. So I thought I'd cover this video, and I haven't got too much to say on it, but I'd love to hear what people think about it. And oftentimes I think like Eurasian, the other type of Eurasian people like myself, like part European and part Asian ancestry. I often think we should support nations in Eurasian nations like Turkey. Like I think my fellow Anglo-Indians should support nations like Turkey, possibly Russia, and nations like that. So I'd love to know what you think. I don't think I'm going to make this video very long because I can't think of too many things to say, but I'd love to know as ever what you think of this video, and if you can list any nations that you would class as Eurasian. I know I've tried to Google it a few times, but it's quite hard to find the actual answers and find a simplified list of nations which are classed as Eurasian. So yeah, I just thought it'd be quite interesting to talk about Eurasian nations and possibly how they could support Asia as well, and how they could possibly host events between Europe and Asia to sort of help with trade. I wonder if Turkey, with its strategic location, if it was managed a bit better, would by its politicians and people like that, what it would do a lot better, because it's in quite a good location, and it could perhaps host trading events between European and Asian nations about how they can trade with each other. I must admit, I'd hope that those would benefit Asia more personally as an anti-imperialist, but like European businesses that want to import things from Asia and things like that. So yeah, I just thought I'd make this video and talk about Eurasian nations, and if any Eurasians are out there, like myself, any of my fellow Eurasians, as in mixed race Eurasians, whether they think it's a good idea to support Eurasian nations. I know it's a bit of a bias, but anywho, that's all I can think of for now. So I'm not sure if I'll make another video like this maybe some other day where I might have a bigger list of Eurasian nations. But as I say, I'd love for anyone to list in the comment section any nations which you would class as Eurasian. Anyway, peace and love.